surprising. So we went to get oil changed in my car. I took it to the dealer because they had the best deal to get your oil changed. And the guy who was our service manager, he had a picture of a golden retriever on his desk. So I said to him, that is that your little
baby?
Baby? Or I said, how old's your child? And he kind of tapped the picture and
he said back then she's 4 6 months or
back
something.
then,
but she's a year old now.
Right.
Like a proud father.
But something it's funny that when it was finished and we started talking to the service manager next to him, he had a whole lot of things to talk about dogs. And
here's Sierra. We can hear her nails. So Sierra never wants to be in a video ever. Oh, can we get her? Can we get her? She's a senior. I don't think she can jump up, but let's see if we get her on.
1,000 pounds. Here she is. Look. No, she's gone. Sierra doesn't like to be in videos.
Now Sammy loves it, right?
Sammy, she's a ham.
But she's always a little active, and everybody says in comments, "Oh, she wants to be put down." But she loves it. But we just walk them and. They're both tired, and Sierra thought we're going to walk again for some crazy reason.
Right, and it is cold outside too.
But they loved it. They loved it. But you were talking about the guy next to he was talking about dogs and giving me a hint to get Sammy to quit biting me.
Yeah, it seems like he's had dogs a lot during his life, and just because his child is allergic, they don't have a dog.
Well, they had two. They had two, a big and a small one like us.
Right.
And they had to get rid of it because of their child.
Yeah, that was interesting. But he had a lot to say, a lot of insight into training a puppy and having him listen to you, and it was pretty insightful.
Right. He's telling me I'm not strict enough. I'm too nice.
You can't be a pushover.
I was too nice with our kids, and I'm too nice with the dogs. I'm too nice in general. That is true. I'm too nice. And so he told me I need to firm up, get a little tough with them.
That's right.
That, moms want to be nice, and dads are usually the disciplinarian. Just like my mom was the nice one, my dad was the mean one.
So I don't put up with Sammy not listening or growling. And if she starts to growl, I just keep pushing forward. And,
I do too, but she still bites me.
I tell her not to bite me.
And I tell her not to bite me, but she doesn't listen.
Yeah,
she's like, no.
Yeah, so you have to establish, I guess, those habits early on.
Well, you gotta be aggressive. You gotta be more aggressive.
Be aggressive.
I mean, we didn't have dogs. We've never had dogs that bite. We've never had biters, so this is new. And we've never really had a small dog. So, and I'm not saying small dogs are always biters, but they often are because mailmen are always terrified of and delivery
small
people.
Dogs.
So small dogs they're always afraid of, and the delivery people. So small dogs.
Yeah.
Well, we're working on it. We are working on the biting, and we said it's funny because we had my niece and her fiance over, and we said, well, at least we're not bleeding anymore because she did bite Steve, and he was bleeding.
Right. Yes.
We said, and they go, oh well, that's good. And they were like, are you kidding me? that's a plus that you're not bleeding.
No, she had sharp razor teeth.
She still does.
Puppy. Yeah, they're still pretty sharp, but she's losing a lot of her puppy teeth and getting her adult teeth. But going back to the original topic, so many people, the common thing to talk about is dogs, animals, pets.
Because like the Pope said years ago, I don't know his quote, but it was, quit having dogs replace having babies or something.
Yeah.
Remember years ago he said that, and I thought, what kind of comment is that? But now I totally get what he was saying.
Yeah, you can certainly have a common ground.
Everybody has a dog because it's everywhere. It is a fact. There are fewer and fewer babies born, and everybody has a dog. And dogs are not cheap. They used to be cheap. Throughout our whole marriage, they were not that much. But this last one's been the most expensive because every little item for a dog is quadruple what it was.
Yeah, really,
when we
definitely the pet sector is certainly making money on people and their pets, and it's just incredible.
They're taking advantage.
Pets to boarding to toys to bedding to shots to everything. I swear they develop new shots every year that your dog didn't need in the past but now does. And the shot that used to last a year now only lasts 6 months, and you have to have it again. And and it's just crazy.
But people aren't having kids, and I do feel for them for a number of reasons. Because we were talking to my niece and her fiance when they were here for dinner, and I said, just having a baby alone, even a totally normal baby, could be $8,000. And she's like, what? I said, yeah, that's what a lot of people are shocked when they get pregnant, that they had to make payments to the doctor, and they can't believe. And you have to make it as you're pregnant, so if you don't have the money, you don't get to have prenatal care.
Yeah, and that's kind of sad.
And that's maybe a normal pregnancy to maybe a C-section. But if your baby has the slightest problem where they have to go into a NICU or whatever, I mean, we never had that, but they need oxygen, they're premature, any little tiny problem, you're going to get into hundreds of thousands of dollars. Of course, people don't know that. Nobody knows that because you don't know what a medical bill is until after the fact. You can't say, what's it going to cost me if my baby has this, or this?
Right.
But then once you have the baby and you have those thousands of dollar bills, then you look at daycare and that's $1,500 a month, and you're like, in the past that was the same as most mortgages. I mean, today mortgage is more like $3,000. But so yeah, who the heck can have a child? And I really don't blame them. I would think twice today about having children.
Right, exactly. It takes a lot, more than a village.
Well, I mean, we always knew we definitely wanted children, but if I'd known that, that you're going to be bankrupt having a baby? Bankrupt?
Right.
I mean...
Yeah, it's expensive.
But it's beyond expensive. It is.
Right.
So I totally do relate to millennials and Gen, whatever it is, Z now. I totally relate to that. We feel that, and we did help with our grandson. We helped tremendously with our grandson. But, that's the next topic we're kind of getting into was I've been on Reddit, and all these things just pop up on my computer or phone about the anger that millennials have against boomers. And part of it is that daycare thing, the cost of living homes. And I get that. I get that.
Sure, absolutely.
I get their anger, but not at us. I don't get that part.
You also have to take into consideration inflation, and prices do rise. Cost
but I'm saying, do you understand why they're blaming us, why they hate all boomers? Like some of them, not all of them, but some of them have such anger, and they yell, and they say how selfish boomers are, and I don't get that.
But in the normal course of life, prices go up. You're not paying the same thing today for goods and services that you would have paid for in the 50s. Okay,
but they'll tell you boomers are...
Right,
what's the word? There's certain words.
Yes,
Not ignorant, but... I forget the words they use, but they'll say, but no, it's not in proportion. Like, daycare was $300 when our son was born, but we didn't use it, but I know it was $300 a month. Today is $1,500, so that is what, 5 times? Our salaries, 5 times. An average salary back then was maybe 40, maybe 45 or 50. Right. So 5 times 40 is 200. So no. And today I would think people getting out of college start at close to 100 if you have a good college degree. That's not 5 times. That's 2.5, whereas daycare is 5 times.
Right.
So that's what they'll tell the boomers. They're like, boomers are ignorant. Boomers are stupid. Yeah. They don't know money. They don't know math. Okay, we do. But we're not personally benefiting from these daycare costs. We are not making money off of daycare. We are not. And then they say, go on and on about how we have pensions and health care and all the money. Well, we're unusual boomers because we are at the tail end of the boomers, but we don't have pensions.
Not every boomer has a pension and health care and all of that stuff. That's early boomers or older.
Like your brother who's 81.
Yeah, I mean but that's stopped.
But some young people have pensions. Our son and daughter-in-law have pensions, so they're actually better off than us. They actually make 3 times the money we make. They got their house at the best time. They have pensions. They're actually sitting pretty, and they are not boomers.
Right. Exactly.
So if they stay in their jobs, they're so comfortable right now. They do not have to choose between the doctor and food. Well, we do. There's been so many times I had to choose when I needed therapy for a pulled muscle or whatever. I couldn't afford the doctor or therapy or the physical therapy. They don't have to choose that. They make so much money. They are very, very comfortable because of the opportunities that they had from, ironically, I know some people say, well, I don't work. So why don't I work? Well, I gave up my career, and at this point, all I could do is get low-level jobs that are really bad hours. with no vacation. So yeah, I don't work. And I wish I did. I wish I could get a job that paid me what I'm worth, that had vacation. But because I did give up my job for our kids to educate them, I could only get a job making maybe $15 an hour, working all different days, nights, days, and so I chose not to work. I don't like that. I'd like to have a decent job, but of course there's whatever. I'm not going to get into that. But I'm just amazed at all these Reddit posts that come up or the YouTube where there's so much hate. And honestly, hate isn't good, right? Hate isn't good for anyone. Is it healthy?
No.
Are they going to? And the funny thing is, or not funny, really ironic, in the comments, one person said, why are you blaming all boomers when you're not really looking at the real people like Elon and Jeff Bezos? They said, why aren't you looking at the real people who are, pushing the wages down? I mean, it's all a complicated situation, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure is. And, you have to really evaluate where blame belongs. And it's not just on a whole generation of people who came before you. There's different situations that cause inflation and certain prices to go up. And, and so you really, if you want to blame someone, which you really shouldn't play the blame game, you should live your life and do the best that you can with, what you have. It doesn't get you anywhere blaming anyone. Okay, so.
Well, we understand it. It is ridiculous.
Yeah, if it makes you feel better,
it's
then
housing,
you can blame the top 1%.
Housing, university costs, and daycare and healthcare are all ridiculous. But boomers are the largest group who's becoming homeless today. Boomers are, especially women, are the ones who are living in their car. Look at all those videos. Living in their car, living in incredible tiny homes in Tennessee, living in storage units. Boomers are hurting. A lot of them are hurting because during the Great Recession, they were laid off to bring in younger people and to pay lower salaries. And typically you're laid off at 49. 49 is considered old. And so, a lot of boomers wiped out their retirement during the Great Recession, and they are hurting today. Yeah, so you look at a handful of boomers who have pensions, and those pensions may not even be, like a lot of teaching pensions are so low. I believe they were just changing the law where a lot of people who had teaching pensions didn't get the full Social Security, because if you had a teaching pension and worked a side job, they reduced your Social Security. And some people said as much as $1,000 or $1,500 a month, even though they earned that Social Security, and they struggled to live. So even though you have a pension, like my brother got laid off. I think he was 49 in the Great Recession. His pension was so greatly reduced. He's pretty bitter about that. Here it was 2008. So it's 16, 17 years later. He's very bitter because he lost thousands of dollars a month. So he has a pension. So saying you have a pension, it's kind of silly when that pension can be $500 a month.
Right, and then people lose pensions.
Oh yeah, like my sister and her husband, they're supposed to lose their pensions in the next 3 years.
Right.
For whatever reason, they didn't. What do they do? They take the money from them, give it.
Yeah.
They spend the money.
Whatever they do, the company doesn't invest it correctly, and
I think they steal it. I think they're stealing the money.
Okay.
I don't think it's investments.
I'm sure there's a lot of different reasons.
Like the pilots' pensions. What happened to all those pilots' pensions?
All
those pilots were living in poverty because they lost their pensions. And I don't know if they thought because they're getting a pension, they didn't save or whatever, because the pilot made a lot of money. But, so just because you have a pension does not mean that it's going to pay your bills. It could be $500.
Yeah.
So,
true.
And then with healthcare costs being what they are. So I'm saying that we're all struggling. Can we all get together instead of blaming boomers and millennials, blaming each other? Can we blame the right people? The only things you could do is people have been moving out of the country, or moving to a tiny home, or moving to small towns where housing is cheaper, or not having kids. That's all you can do. But if you have that anger eats you up. It just eats you up and destroys you, gives you health problems. And why is there a divide? When I was thinking to myself, if those millennials talk to their boomer parents and they say the boomers have all this money, well, then they're going to inherit all this money because it's projected that this is going to be the biggest inheritance ever from boomers to millennials. Now, I'm not talking us because Steve had lost his job during the Great Recession and his income's never been the same. I'm talking about boomers who kept their same jobs, have pensions, the really wealthy ones, the ones that their kids are mad at them because they have pensions. If they would talk to those parents are going to be giving them all that money. So in the end, they will have whatever they want in life, right?
That's right. It's all going to turn out for the best for them.
They're going to be able to buy that house or inherit the house and have the money, have their parents' retirement.
And they're going to laugh all the way to the bank.
Yeah, so I don't get it. If your parents are those wealthy boomers, why are you so angry?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
And anger gets you nowhere.
Well, it doesn't, because I looked at my parents and thought, wow, they were able to pay off their first house in like 5 years. Who pays off a house in 5 years? Of course, it was a 2-bedroom house, but they paid it off. And of course, they were required to have kids until my mom couldn't have any more kids. Their religion required them to have a baby every year, so there were 8 of us. So that was a big challenge. And so the next house, they never had a house paid off again until retirement. They never traveled too much. They never really ate out. They never got nice clothes. They never did lunch. My mom never did her nails. I mean, they never did. They watched their money. They were very conservative. But they were comfortable, but they did nothing. So my mom got sick. So, they didn't do a lot. So I don't know. I mean, I think you need to look for the joy in life. The hiking, the outdoors, the nature, like playing games, the things that are free.
Right, and fun.
And just enjoy life, right?
That's right. Enjoy it. It's not a trial run. It's the real thing.
That's what Steve always says.
You don't get a second chance.
If I get in a bad mood, he says, it's not
This
a trial
is it.
run.
Yep.
You better shake that mood because this is not a trial run.
That's right. This is it. Let's make the best of it.
So we all have our challenges. So when I look at my parents and thought, wow, they had it made, I rolled back the camera to their early childhood, their depression years, the starvation, the alcoholism. My mother's father died when she was 5. My father's father died when he was 19. I rolled back the camera to the earlier time and saw that while I thought they had it made then, the earlier years weren't always so great. So what you look at now and think that boomers have it all,
Yeah.
I'm sure nobody has it all. You have your struggles. Everybody has their struggles in life.
That's right. Yeah.
So we had a great day. We had a great day just running errands.
It was a lot of fun.
Steve's rarely off on a Saturday.
Rarely off on a Saturday, yep. Forgot it was a Saturday.
I know. So we just ran errands together. Just a normal, boring thing.
Yeah, that's it. It was pretty exciting. Then ended with a good walk.
Cool, brisk walk with the dogs, and it's getting cold here in Georgia. Great conversation, Steve.
That's right.
Don't get to see him too often these days.
Yep. Sometimes I come around and we do a video.
Oh, I know. We do everything slower and slower, and just getting things done around the house takes forever. So these videos are down to, I think, once a week now, and but the purpose is to document our life for our grandson and spend time together and just have fun. This is another hobby of ours. It's another supposedly free. We have invested a lot of money in making this channel, but at this point now, it should be free because we've got.
Should be. We have everything we need. We think.
So enjoy it. Comment below what you think. Why there's the anger. Are you an angry millennial? Are you an angry? There's a lot of angry boomers too.
That's true.
Until we see you again.
Take it easy.